Good morning, everybody. My name is Garion, and I am a student at East Texas Baptist University. Um, this is an assignment that we were asked to do about how to train leaders well. I am currently a children's intern at Oakland Heights Baptist Church. So I kind of have experience working in the church and also just work in general with kids. Kids is something I have a passion for. And so I've been teaching them for the last 2 years. I'm currently a sophomore, going to be a junior in August. So I will have plenty of experience teaching kids. I don't really have much experience teaching adults aside from going on mission trips to Malawi, Africa, and Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. So these are some things that I have found helpful while teaching kids in a small group setting and teaching anybody in a good setting. So the first stage of getting in a comfortable environment of teaching anybody is really survival. You know, when you first start out, it can be hard. It can be something that we're not really used to. So just finding stuff to take up your time and finding stuff to take up your participants' time, whether that be kids or adults. Because when you're just sitting in a room, it can get pretty boring pretty quick if all you're doing is talking. So you need some interaction between the instructor and the participant and the students. And also learning from other teachers. You know, you have other teachers at your disposal, so why not use that resource? The second one is consolidation, and this is where teachers get more comfortable with their participants, especially with kids. You can kind of tell who is coming from a background where their mom or dad isn't around, or if they're being raised by their grandparents, and you can kind of tell their situation in life, and you can start to think of things that you can do as the teacher to help them. And also, this is where training becomes very, very important. And this is where the teacher can go back in and find new ways to do things and find more activities to do that gets your participants more involved, and they can ultimately learn better off of it. So the third stage is renewal, and this is super important to teachers because sometimes we give all of everything that we have to, whether that be our kids or whether that be our adults, and we can just get burnt out. So finding renewal, time to renew your spiritual life, and finding time to renew the things that you find important is super important. Then the last stage is maturity, and this is where the teacher can find ways that they can mature in their relationship with Christ, because if we give everything that we have and we don't take anything back, we're going to run out of energy, and we're going to run out of everything else that we find important. So being able to find ways to renew your relationship with Christ and mature in your relationship with Christ, as well as going back and pouring out to your students or your adults that you're teaching. So those are just a couple of things that I found really important. One thing that I think his name was Rick Howstrom, something like that. He was saying that, in an airport, you have a lot of different ideas. You have a lot of different planes going around, but and that can be the same way in your teaching environment. You can have a lot of different ideas going around, but as long as the one idea that sticks and the one idea that lands, that has to be the Bible. That has to be God's word, and that has to be something that has to stick out to your learners and your people that you're teaching to. So those are some really important things that I kind of found while I was doing my research for this project. Thank you, guys.